Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Oracle Wisdom. I'm Natalie Sadie, for those of you that don't know, and we are going to have a look at some Oracle cards for the week ahead. I hope that everybody is having a great night. You know, it's eclipse night and it's eclipse season and it's all happening, and I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but I have been feeling very, very drained. So I hope that you're all faring a little bit better than I am. Not that it's bad. It's just exhausting. So I am just going to dive right in. I'm starting with the Ascending Life Oracle. I love this deck. Okay, so the first card coming up is birth, new opportunities, starting over, reinventing yourself, birth of a child, idea, or project. So, I mean, often when we have a full moon, especially a full moon eclipse, it's endings, and people have been talking about a lot of relationship things, a lot of relationships ending and things like that coming up. But birth could be letting go of certain relationships. I say this all the time, open space up for new things to come in. So maybe the new relationships don't come in immediately, but it looks like things are coming in. If something has ended or ends because of this eclipse, and it gives you the opportunity to start over. You can reinvent yourself, how you present to the world, reinvent what it is you were working on and tweak it a little bit so that it's refined and you're able to step forward. And maybe it's just a whole new opportunity that comes through, because like I said, when you let go of that baggage and that weight, amazing things happen. All right. Stepping stone, taking one step at a time. Don't rush the journey, gradually building on success, the start of something bigger. So, I mean, the perfect card to pull up when we've just pulled the birth card. And when you're starting something new, to look at the end game, it can so often be overwhelming. When you focus on the smaller steps to get to the other side, all of a sudden things aren't so difficult. So if you are in the stage of starting something new and it is getting overwhelming, don't freak out. All you need to focus on is the first thing you need to do towards what you're creating. It is not an all or nothing situation. When I'm in a situation that is overwhelming and I sit there and go, this is too much, I can't do this, I literally put blinders on or blinkers on like they do with horses and focus on what's in front of me. And it's amazing how far you will get. So a couple of cards jumped out. Higher power, choosing your highest good, aligning with your higher self, connected to spirit, on the path of the divine. Whatever it is that you're working on and whatever it is that is presenting itself, it's coming from a higher power, and you have to trust that. And when you're moving towards what your soul is calling you to do, when you're moving towards those higher power energies and you're on the right path, you'll always get to where it is you need to go. So you have to trust that. And the other card that jumped out with that was the World. Completion of a major milestone, fulfillment of time and success, broadening your horizons, end of a journey. So it's confirming that something is ending for the birth of this new thing that is coming in. So trust it. If you have to mourn whatever it is that's leaving, that's okay. Feel all the feelings, go through it all, and trust that it needs to leave your life in order to move forward. And it's not always fun. But whenever I see the World card, even though this is talking about the end of a journey, completion, all of that, I also see it as having the world at your feet. stepping into your power, and all of that lays before you. You can conquer the entire world. So trust that. Don't freak out about things leaving. I feel like whenever things leave or people leave, and sometimes these things come up really suddenly, go through the feelings, but don't let it eat you up. Dice, time to take risks, getting out of your comfort zone, leap into the unknown, adventure awaits. Everything that's coming up is super exciting, and you have to trust it. I mean, the world is even talking about broadening your horizons. This is all about adventure. So it's time to release any expectations you have. It's time to release the fear, and it's time to go on a journey. This is ironic that this is what I need to say, considering I hate roller coasters, but it's like getting on the roller coaster and enjoying the ride. There's going to be ups and downs and twists and turns that maybe you're not expecting. I'm thinking of Space Mountain for some reason. But that's the exciting part. That's what gets the adrenaline going. And when you come off, you're riding this high because it's all the adrenaline. So you have to trust that. This next card is fragmented. The picture is incomplete, a split in your energy, too many things going on at once, having too many options. I think that this is how a lot of you are going to feel. You're going to be pulled in a bunch of different directions, but this is why it's so important to release what's not serving you, release what isn't working. And if this is about relationships and a person, release that person, let them go. And the old saying, if you love somebody, set them free. And if they come back to you, it was meant to be. And if not, they were never yours. Same with the opportunities or the things that you're working on. If something hasn't worked and you need to sort of stop and reinvent yourself and tweak it a little bit and start again, don't be mad at it. Don't get caught up in that fear or in a panic about what's going on. You have to trust it and you have to release it all. And that's when you'll be able to focus and take those steps. All right, I'm going to pull one more of these before we move on. Oh, okay. Mountain, obstacles and challenges, possible delays, patience needed, require perseverance. So it may feel like what is going on is insurmountable, like you cannot move forward because you've got this massive roadblock. It's not. You need to work through the challenge. And this is part of releasing to the universe and the higher good and trusting the journey that you're on and knowing that you can navigate this. There are people that have navigated Mount Everest. And once upon a time, I used to think I could do that as well. And now when I watch these documentaries on it and I see that its base camp is something like, is it 17 or 27,000 feet? I don't cope at 10,000 feet. So the actual mountain for me in terms of Everest, no, I'm not going to climb it. But other mountains, roadblocks that are put in my way, those I can navigate. So you have to see these obstacles, and if there is something that presents itself, look at it as a challenge and something that you can absolutely get through, but it's one step at a time and you will get through to the other side. So I feel like it's all good. The only thing that is going to get in your way is you. So if you allow fear to take hold, that's going to be a problem for you. If you allow yourself to get caught up in the negative self-talk or the ego of, I have to let this go and reinvent it a little bit, that's going to be a problem for you. If you're trying to hang on to someone that doesn't fit into your life anymore, or they're telling you that it doesn't work for them, you have to listen to that and let them go. It doesn't mean that they won't come back, but they have something else they need to do right now, and you have to let them go and do it. And if they're meant to, they'll come back. And if not, it leaves space wide open for other incredible things and people to come into your life. All right, so I pulled out the Sacred Moon Goddess Oracle because I feel like it's appropriate considering it's eclipse night. Okay. Infinite truth. When you are coming from a place of truth in terms of what your path is, what journey you're meant to be on for your soul, you can't go wrong. And I think it's time to absolutely tap into all of that. I feel like the veil has been lifted at the moment. I feel like the veil between this world and the next and other dimensions is a lot thinner than it can be at times. And I think it's time to tap into that. Ground, meditate, do whatever it is you need to do to center yourself and to really be honest with yourself and where you're going and what you need through all of this. And maybe part of that conversation with yourself is having the realization that you've been going up the wrong path and it's time to just figure out the right direction for you. Soul guidance. Your soul is there and ready and wanting to guide you through this. And it will take care of you. It will take you exactly where you're meant to go if you listen. But in order to listen, you have to have those very, very, very honest conversations with yourself. And it's hard sometimes to shut down the voice of ego. You know, ego is not a dirty word, but it is not a good thing when you allow it to be all-encompassing and take over your life. We did not send out a notification that we were going live. I say we because I have the wonderful Anne on the other side of all of this helping me so that we're live on High Vibe as well as YouTube. And I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for everyone that has joined us in the live chat on both platforms. Okay. Flowing journey. When you're on the path you're meant to be on, even with obstacles, everything flows, things work their way out. And the whole thing is no journey is ever going to be without obstacles. It's just not the reality of life here in this realm. It's not. But when you're in the flow, when you're really tuned in and you're following what it is your soul is guided to do, the flowing journey will figure its way around the mountain, through the mountain, however it needs to get through. So I feel like the moon goddess cards are really just confirming everything we've talked about. And this is more about soul guidance than, giving us extra information. It's reminding us of all the things that we need to tap into. All right, this is the last one from this deck. Harvest love. And I know David did his full moon eclipse show earlier tonight, and it's fantastic. You should check it out. If you're not signed up to High Vibe, it is available on the Leo King's YouTube. And he's saying it's not the best time for new relationships, just with all of the planetary placements. I see this card as being harvest love within ourselves. This isn't about a romantic relationship. This is about being patient and kind to ourselves, and remembering that we have to take care of ourselves to make it through this journey that we're on at the moment. And I feel like there are some really big shifts that are going on. And even when you are in flow, it doesn't, like I said a few moments ago, it doesn't always make everything easy. So this is where this is really important. So make sure not only are you listening and pushing yourself to release all these things, be kind to yourself while you're doing all of that. And then the final deck that we're going to use, and I'm going to pull 2 cards of this, is the Know Your Shadow Self deck by Mahrukh. All right, I'm going to pull both cards before we look at them. One has jumped out, and I will pull one more. Okay. I feel like eclipse time is the perfect time to be doing shadow work and working on ourselves. So, incurious shadow, not curious or observant, willfully blind, not learning lessons. So this is obviously the shadow self. And the opposite of that is you can't turn a blind eye to problems that require you to take action. Things you ignore will only grow. So again, this is where you have to sit and tap into that infinite truth of where it is you are meant to be going and what it is you're meant to be doing. It's not a time to sit idly by and watch the Kardashians and have no curiosity about what's going on in the world and what could better serve you with where you're going. It's time to get curious. It's time to get curious about what's going on in the world, what's going on in your world around you. I know there are a lot of people that like to live in a bubble because it's nice there. You can create whatever environment you like, but it's time to step out of that and create that world for real on the grander scale versus sticking your head in the sand. So the next card is the Instigator Shadow, stirring up trouble and creating conflict, calculating, pushes buttons, and provoker. And then the flip side of that is if you act in a way that is positive and minimal drama, you attract the same kind of positive situations and people. So it's really easy to step into that sort of mischievous side or that instigator side because it takes away from us having to focus on ourselves and what it is we're doing and where it is we're trying to get to. And when you, sorry, I'm trying to get back into the chat because my chat stopped moving. Because when you're creating chaos over here, you don't have to focus on yourself. So again, we go back to this harvesting love. It's time to come from that place of love as opposed to being cheeky, causing mayhem, and all of those things. It's you want to live in a place that looks like your bubble that you've been hiding in. Create it in the real world. Don't refuse to step out of that bubble because you're scared of what's going on in the real world. When you come from a place of love, when you have love within yourself, you get to create the environment around you. Again, it's never going to be 100% perfect, but if you want to live in that, create it, and you can. I hope this resonates with some of you or all of you. As I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. For those of you that are curious, I have finally, I'm almost finished editing the story that I did about the war on bees in New Zealand with an incredible bee farmer. I'm sure there's a better way to say that. I'm really tired. I'm struggling today. So that will be up on the Natalie Sadie YouTube page in the next 24 hours. So make sure you go and check that out. Otherwise, just get curious with the world around you and what's going on in the wider world. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us for the live. And as always, Anne, thank you so much.